Yeah, so this town has got many beautiful Victorian buildings. In this series, I ride the Big Three to commemorate the extraordinary legacy of Thomas Bain, master road builder in South Africa. This is the spectacular Swartberg Pass, the challenging Baviaanskloof, and the beautiful Prince Alfred's Pass. It takes me on a journey of more than 2,200 kilometers from Cape Town all the way to Port Elizabeth and back. Thanks for joining me on this experience and to share the views. Welcome back to Werner's View and welcome to a brand new series. Yeah, I am already on the road. I departed from Cape Town around 8 o'clock this morning and I'm now finding myself at the beautiful Ou Meul breakfast spot here in Rossonville. Where are we going with this series? First, what do I call this series? I'm calling it Riding the Big Three. Now, the Big Three in this context is my own definition, but I think it's in honor of Thomas Bain that I'm going to do this trip. And when I talk about the Big Three, it's arguably the biggest and most important passes and roads that he has built in his grand tenure of road building history in South Africa. So the Big Three, the first one is the Swartberg Pass. I'm also going to do the Baviaanskloof in the Eastern Cape. That is also the longest road and pass, or a number of passes that Thomas Bain has built. And then I'm also going to do the Prince Alfred Pass from Uniondale to Knysna, which is also an 80 kilometer pass and road to take. So yeah, maybe you differ from me, but in my mind those are significant big passes, important passes. I've never ridden it with the Honda, with a motorcycle, so it's my first time. I've done it many times by car, but it's going to be a unique experience to do this on motorcycle. And for the first time I'm going to ride a multi-day trip, and with multi-day I'm going to be on the road for basically more than a week, and I'm going to ride all the way from Cape Town to Port Elizabeth. Along the way I'm going to visit many interesting places. I'm not taking the shortest route, you know me by now, so where the shortest route to Port Elizabeth is about 750 kilometers, I'm probably going to make it in around 1,000 kilometers over the next 3-4 days. I already started, as I said, in Cape Town an hour or two ago. Yeah, I actually feel quite fortunate that I'm able to go through the toll and use the Huguenot tunnel. This tunnel was closed in the last few days. Hallo. Wanneer het julle oopgemaak? Oké, ja, ek gaan nog julle gaan langer toe wees. So is nou mooi om te ry. Baie dankie hoor. Dankie. Yeah, so about 7 days ago there was a bus that burned out basically in the middle of this tunnel, and there was some serious concern about structural damage to the tunnel, but it was established that the structure is fine, but apparently there's some significant damage on some of the electrical cabling and I suppose the panels on the tunnels inside, and that will probably be fixed over time. But I really expected this to be closed and that I would have to take the Touws Pass from Cape Town in the direction of Worcester. But yeah, I always enjoy riding through the tunnel because it feels like a transition that you make away from Cape Town into the interior. Yeah, there does not seem to be a lot of wind over this bridge, but of course This is a notorious bridge. The wind can be quite strong here, and sometimes trucks are blown right over to their sides, and even cases of vehicles being blown over the edge of this bridge. Really scary. But today the wind is quite calm. Yeah, this is the start of the Huguenot Tunnel for the next more than, well, around 4 kilometers to cross through this mountain. Yeah, the Huguenot Tunnel was built, of course, as the alternative route over these mountains, where the Matjiesfontein Pass was the only route. Previously, I think this tunnel was built in 1988, so it is a key connection between Cape Town and the interior. So I wonder whether we will be able to see now where this bus actually burned out. The damage was here where they put up these barriers. Yeah, so the bus almost made it through before it started to burn. It's quite a scary thing, yeah. But we are safely through. So this first trip, or the first stretch of this series, will take us all the way from Cape Town to the town of Prince Albert. So yeah, I will show you a few snippets along the way. I will make a few stops, but I will depart now here from Rawsonville, pass through Worcester, ride up the beautiful Hex River Valley, which I've covered in previous series, of course. I will pass Touws River, Laingsburg, and then ultimately, before I get to Laingsburg, I will also make a stop in Matjiesfontein. I think that will be a beautiful stop. And then all the way to Prince Albert. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Let's go. What a lovely stop here at Omeal. This is just one of the most beautiful places to stop. I must say, the Omeal restaurants along the roads here in the Western Cape is such a welcoming spot, and this one at the Baviaanskloof wine farm is probably one of the best. Certainly it's got one of the best pepper steak pies I've ever eaten. So these days I don't pass without stopping for a pepper steak pie. Those are the kind of pies that even if you're not hungry, they are great to eat. But yeah, let's continue on the road. I will now link on with the N1 and mostly stay on the N1 for the trip to Prince Albert. Yeah, thank you very much for joining me on this trip and also on this series. I'm not quite sure how many individual trips this series will have, but it's going to be quite a few given the distance that I'm going to ride. Thank you very much to all of you that have watched my previous series, the Cape Valley series. for all your comments and your interest and sharing your comments with me. I really appreciate it a lot. I hope the trip that I'm bringing you today and over the next few days will be enjoyable. I certainly will enjoy it. Today is a bit of a different ride. It is only tar road. So yeah, a bit boring, and then most of the tar road is on the N1, but I think the whole purpose of today is to make the first stretch to Prince Albert. From there I will take it a bit slower, because tomorrow I will ride the Swartberg Pass, and yes, I will also make my way down to Baviaanskloof, or also called Die Hell. I'm really looking forward to those dirt roads. And of course I'm doing this with my Honda CRF 300 Rally, like all previous series. As I said many times, this bike can take me anywhere, and even if I have to do a few hours of tar road riding, it is just a great cruising bike. You will note that I made a few modifications to the bike. I think the biggest modification is a completely new luggage system. In the past I only had bags that I stacked at the back, but now I've got some proper motorcycling gear that is fitted to my pannier racks. Yeah, I will definitely show this to you, and it's very much a test for me to see how it works, but so far I am really pleased about the comfort of this, and also the stability of the bike with the weight now lower down. Yeah, it remains a bit cloudy and misty, but I really don't think there's going to be rain. I think the sun is going to come out maybe a bit later, and I think we might even hit 30 degrees when we approach Prince Albert. And suddenly you can see the whole Hex River Valley lying in front of us. This is one of the largest table grape export places in the world. 17 million cartons of table grapes exported every year. We are now approaching the lower slopes of the Hex River Pass. This is a very important pass on the N1 main highway from Cape Town to the interior, but it's unfortunately also a very notorious pass because of all the heavy vehicles that makes use of it. There has been quite a number of serious accidents. But yeah, this takes us out of the beautiful Hex River Valley. And when we reach the top of the pass, we actually will be a bit on the plateau, so there's no significant descent after the top of the pass. But luckily it is a double lane road, because there will probably be many slow moving trucks on this uphill stretch. Yeah, I can feel my ears popping. We are climbing quite a bit. It is just a continuous uphill slope. Yeah, so we are making the transition into the Karoo, and we will certainly ride quite a bit of the Great Karoo today to get to Prince Albert. But once we've reached the top of this pass, it's only Karoo country that we will see. Here at the top of the Hex River Pass, it is still 106 kilometers to Laingsburg, 24 kilometers to Touws River. We are making progress. 235 kilometers still to go to Prince Albert. Prince Albert is almost 400 kilometers from Cape Town. We made it to the town of Touws River. This is of course not an unfamiliar town on Vander's View. I also visited Touws River in a previous series. Touws River, of course, is primarily known for being a very, very prominent and important railway junction, specifically for the railway that comes up the Hex River Valley and also connects then Cape Town with the interior. So the railway station in Touws River was already built in 1883. Yeah, and there is also some exhibit of an old steam locomotive there in the heart of Touws River. Sorry, ek dog jy staan uit die pad uit. Ek sê ek dog jy staan uit die pad uit dat ek moet verbykom. O, nee, ek het nie. Ekskuus man, ekskuus. Okay. Okay. Ek moet net gou hier onder hierdie sakkie uitkry. 100% meneer, waar is die lisensieskriep van die? Hy is hierso. Hier, jy sal hom behoort om te sien daar. Kyk, hy met die Bluetooth. Wat? Die kamera werk op sy eie, maar ek neem die klank op hierdie ene met 'n kabel en daai klank neem ek met 'n Bluetooth. O, okay. Kyk, hierso is hy hoor. Hierso is hy. Ja, so die een kamera kyk terug. So die een is maar net so backup klank, want baie keer gaan die klank verkeerd. Okay. Nee, ek vat videoetjies soos ek ry. Watter kant toe gaan jy nou? Ek gaan tot op Prins Albert vandag, maar ek gaan ultimately Port Elizabeth doen, hè. Prins Albert, waar Prins Albert die familie daar? Nee, ek gaan sommer net daar so in 'n gastehuisplekkie oor. Ja. Nee, ek wil môre 'n bietjie Swartberg Pass in die hel en so aanry, hè. Wel, hy's eintlik vir off-road. So ek ry net maar die teerpaaie net om by die lekker grondpaaie te kom, né. Dankie, ek sit mooi bly. Yeah, so this is my first traffic cop stop. Luckily everything is in order. I actually have this CRF bike now for exactly 1 year and I had to renew the license for the first time, so that was good that I remembered to put on the new license. Let's go. It's only about 21 kilometers to Matjiesfontein. We are crossing the Matjies river here. So yeah, Matjiesfontein is quite a special town. Like other towns along this route, like Touws River, Matjiesfontein also very much owes its existence to the Cape Government Railway. You can see also the railway passing here. And it was all about the building and establishment of a railway station here that resulted in the town of Matjiesfontein. Yeah, I say it's special because it really has some beautiful buildings. Just look at this. Beautiful little house. And on this side is the train station. So this train station was already built in February 1883. The town of Matjiesfontein was established in 1878 and the town itself was laid out in 1880. Yeah, the name Matjiesfontein relates to sedge. That is apparently a type of grass. Oh, this is the Lord Milner Hotel. Let's just make a turn here. Well, basically through the town already. Here, this is the transport museum, so it's all about transport, especially trains and railways. So the name Matjiesfontein apparently comes from sedge, which is a grass-like plant that the Cocoon tribe used a lot in this area to make mats. So that is where Matjiesfontein comes from reference to these mats. And here on the right hand side is the cricket ground. Yeah, so this town it's got many beautiful Victorian buildings. I'm just going to make a stop here. So yeah, Matjiesfontein, as I mentioned, is a special town. It's got many historic Victorian buildings. I mean, this whole town is like a monument, and that is why this town, in September 1975, it was already declared as a national monument, the whole town. So if you walk around here, it feels like a museum, and we will shortly walk around. But I just made a quick stop here at the cricket ground of Matjiesfontein. There's quite a distinct English history, of course, here. Before I go for a walk, let me just talk a little bit about the bike. I haven't spoken much in the previous series about the bike. It's maybe because I've not done a lot of modifications. I think the only real modification I spoke about previously was the new back tire that I put on, the Dunlop D606. And yeah, thank you very much to all that have made comments about it. It seems like it's mostly a positive response. I mean, so it gets very good reviews, and yeah, I've done a lot of tar road riding today, but I will do lots of dirt road coming. So far, I'm very happy with the tire. But what I want to talk about today is my change of luggage. In all previous series, you will know that I only used two backpacks that I stacked at the back of the bike. And I think that was part of a problem with balance, is I'm stacking the weight too high. And I now made the investment to have some proper luggage bags attached to my pannier racks. So let's have a closer look. So you can see that I've got these pannier racks I had for a long time. So they've been always on the bike, because pannier racks to me in the first place is about protection of the bike. So if it falls over, it gives protection to the backside and almost the whole side of the bike. But yeah, it is of course for luggage. So I opted for the Turkana product. So Turkana 30 liters soft luggage that you attach to the pannier rack. And what is so convenient about it is that it comes with a plate that you attach with screws to the pannier rack, and then it clips onto it. So it's very easy to attach and remove these 30 liter bags. So of course one on that side and also then one on this side. So it gives it a very nice balance, and the total weight of the luggage is lower down. So the center of mass is lower. What I like about these Turkana products is you also get smaller bags that you can attach to with a very sophisticated system on both sides. So on this side I've got like a water bottle or my drinking flask. This is just a little bag for extra goodies, and it's easily accessible, so you can easily open it. It has this folding mechanism where you just fold it, and then inside, this is my snack pack, as you can see. And then on that side I've got the same, so it's easily accessible, so I don't have to open the big bags. And then one of the newest products of Turkana is actually this one, and this is the so-called turtle trunk, the 30 liters. It's also a 30 liters, and it opens on both sides, so it's quite easy to access and put stuff in, and you can also use it as a normal bag to carry. And this I simply strap on top with my straps that I always have. So yeah, this is the luggage setup. So this is the very first time I'm actually doing some riding with it, and so far I am very happy. This is so convenient. So with stops it's easy to access things, and yeah, certainly from a balance perspective it is good. I haven't done any difficult roads yet, so we will see later in this series when things become a bit more tough, but I suspect I'm going to be quite happy with this. Please let me know what you think about this luggage option. I only buy this once. I mean, this is now something that I want to use for many years to come, and it certainly looks like a high quality product. I bought it from Flying Brick there in Baden Island in Cape Town. The guys at Flying Brick looked after me very well. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Andre, for the advice, and also alerting me when your turtle trunk came in. Apparently this is a very new product, so I'm testing it a bit. So far it works perfectly as a bag at the back. But yeah, if you want to go and look at many examples of these Turkana luggage options, go to Flying Brick, have a chat with them, and go and check it out. It is not cheap, but this is the kind of luggage that you, as I said, you only buy it once, and you should be fine to go for years to come. So yeah, I'm certainly enjoying it. But please send me your comments. What do you think? this is the cricket ground, but let's make our way a little bit to the center of the town and go have a bit of another look at some of these beautiful buildings. So there's a beautiful little pink church built in 1895. I must say, I've not seen that kind of design of church in pink before. It's quite a quirky look here in Matjiesfontein. Look at these beautiful little houses. All of this, so most of this is Victorian, and all of this is monument. The whole town is a museum. So not only railway and trains, but also there is a traditional English red double-decker bus. Let's make a stop here. So yeah, this is the Matjiesfontein number 12 bus. So I'm not sure whether it only served the town or whether it actually went further. But you are to remain seated whilst on this bus, while it is in motion. Yeah, this is quite interesting. You are not allowed to spit on this bus. You will actually get a £5 fine if you spit on this bus. There you can see quite a small cabin or driver's compartment. Let's see if we can go upstairs as well. Indeed. Probably got quite a nice view if you take the upper floor of the bus. Yeah, so one can just imagine that in the heyday of railway travel, say the late 1800s, early 1900s, that people took the train from Cape Town and then after quite a few hours of journey, arrive at this train station and then stroll across the street to the Lord Alfred Milner Hotel. Now we're going to have a look at the hotel now, but the hotel is probably the most famous building in the town. It was built already in 1899 and it is named after Sir Alfred Milner, who was the Cape governor at the time. But of course Milner is quite well known as also the governor during the period of the Anglo-Boer War that took place 1899 to 1902. So there's a bit of history here, and certainly it speaks of a Victorian age. Of course Queen Victoria passed away I think in 1902, so it's very much towards the end of her reign that most of these buildings were built in the late 1890s. It might be quite pleasant to come and stay over here and experience the old world charm. I'm not sure if it's true, but I've heard that there might be a few ghosts in this building. But what do I know? So these days there are all kinds of establishments in these old buildings. I suppose there are some nice coffee shops. This is the Laird's Arms pub. Pub lunch is served. So yeah, quite a relaxed place to come and sit. And also Standard Bank. It's actually the Standard Bank Museum to be found here. Births and Deaths Registration Office. Yeah, I hope you agree with me. A stop at Matjiesfontein, well worth it. I'm not going to visit all the places, but it is such a peaceful, relaxed, sleepy little town to come and can make a visit. So over this side is the Transport Museum. So there's also a few examples of some, well, wagons, maybe some ox wagons, some horse-drawn carts, and so on. So as I said, transport plays a big part of the history of this town. So you can just see this, it really looks old. Old example of probably an ox wagon. Okay, let's depart here from the Transport Museum in Matjiesfontein. What a pleasant visit. This was now a treat. So let's move to the next town, which is Laingsburg, which is actually not that far away. It's only about 28 kilometers further up the N1. Yeah, maybe a little bit of history then on Laingsburg. So Laingsburg as a town was already established in 18... Well, like many towns in this stretch of road, it was built around a train station. The train station was built in 1878. So it's the same year that the town of Matjiesfontein was established. And but it wasn't called Laingsburg. It's only called Laingsburg since 1904, when it was named after Sir John Lang. So maybe before I continue, this is the Buffels River. This is an infamous river in Laingsburg. Massive amounts of water can come down here. We will talk about it now. So Sir John Lang was the Commissioner of Crown Lands. So that was what the town was named after. But of course, Laingsburg is most well known for the devastating flood of 25 January 1981. That was a big disaster when a massive cloudburst caused that Buffels River to flood its banks, and a wave of water came through this town, basically devastating this town. So this is a flood museum, so you can see there's a museum here dedicated to this flood. So 104 people actually lost their lives in this flood, and that is quite bad. But it was even worse is that only 32 of those 104 people's bodies were recovered. So it was simply flooded away on the Buffels River. And then of the total number of houses in town at that time, 181, only 21 houses remained intact after the flood. So it's basically a massive wave that went through this whole town, and one can almost not imagine it because it is such a dry area. If you mention Laingsburg, it is absolutely synonymous with flood, and the big flood of 25 January 1981. I still remember it. I was still a small little boy, and I can even remember from years ago that it dominated the national news and probably international as well. I think the whole idea of a town basically being washed away almost completely, with so many lives lost, so much damage, it's just unimaginable. And this in a place where probably something like that has not happened before, and not since. I mean, it's now, 45 years later, and nothing close to that has happened again. I made a stop here next to a beautiful church. I must admit, I don't know what church it is. It might be the Dutch Reformed Church. I parked the CRF here in front of the church. The tree is obscuring the impressive steeple a bit, but if I walk a bit to this side, you should get an idea. Really a beautiful church. Look at this steeple. I wonder how old it is. I have not researched this church at all, so I will go and have a look and then insert a little bit the age of this church. Maybe there's something. Oh, there's something there. Oh, the stone has been laid 4 June 1904. Okay, so it's not that old, but it's the same year that the town of Laingsburg then got its name. Beautiful. But I just want to make a quick walk across the street, because it actually there indicates the level that this flood had. Yeah, so if you see, if I stand here, that is the level of the flood. So it is well above my head. I'm 1.84 meters, so this is well above 2 meters. Is how high this flood went. It was now quite an interesting stop here in Laingsburg. I also took the opportunity to, eat a bit of a snack, top up with some water, because now it is the final stretch. And this is to Prince Albert. Yeah, it's quite a significant climb to get out. Prince Albert, about 130 kilometers from here, but is another 83 kilometers on the N1. Then I will definitely get onto quieter roads. Not that the N1 riding today was unpleasant, it was actually quite a good ride. My stint on the N1 is over. That is good. It was still an enjoyable ride, but yeah, the traffic is quite busy. You need to be alert the whole time for big trucks and so on. Oh, I missed the turn off. I'm staying on the N1 a little bit longer. I thought the turn is here in front. So let me just make the turn here. This is the turn off to Prince Albert, the R407. Okay, so now it is another 45 kilometers to Prince Albert. Looks like I'm going to be a bit more against the wind now. But first, crossing this railway track. I mean, we've been following this railway track all the way from Cape Town, Hex River Valley, Touws River, Matjiesfontein, Laingsburg. We're going to leave it behind now. So this is the Prince Albert Road station. Oh, it seems all clear. And there in the distance, the Swartberg is busy revealing itself. To me that means only one thing: adventure. We will head into the Swartberg tomorrow. And immediately the roads are quiet. Not a single car to be seen. I mean, it is such a contrast to what is happening on the N1. Suddenly one can breathe. We are now well and proper in the Great Karoo. Just look at it. Yeah, it brings a feeling of, what is it, relaxation. Yeah, there the Swartberg is lying in all its glory. Yeah. We have now made it to the Karoo town of Prince Albert. What a gem. I think this is referred to as the gem of the Karoo. It is such a beautiful, beautiful town. Maybe just a little bit of history. This town, or a town, was already established here since 1762. It was established on a farm called Kweekfontein, and then in 1842 a part of this town was then bought for establishing the Dutch Reformed Church, and that was the same year, 1842, that the church was then formed. 1842, at that time the town was still known as Albertsburg, but in 1845 the name was changed to Prince Albert, and that was in honor of Queen Victoria's consort, Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg. Yeah, so Queen Victoria played a part here as well, even though it's in much earlier times than, say, Matjiesfontein and so on. Just look at this. Is the Swartberg Hotel, the famous Swartberg Hotel. This is probably the most popular place to stay in Prince Albert. So yeah, in the 1890s, interestingly, oh, look at this. There was like a bit of a mini gold rush here. There was gold discovered here, but that was very short-lived. Apparently only 1,225 ounces of gold was in total was mined, that's only about 35 kilograms, so not a lot, and that died down quickly. But that coincided, that 1890s, with the boom in ostrich feathers. So both, oh look at this old antique car, beautiful. And there's the church of Prince Albert. So I'm not so sure what the age of the church is. Let's have a look. I actually, when I researched it a bit, I couldn't find a date for the church. But yeah, the church was established in 1842. Whether this church is so old, I don't know. Quite a formidable steeple, a beautiful church. So what I was saying about the 1890s, it was also the ostrich feather boom in Europe. So many ostrich farms were established in this area. Prince Albert, and of course Oudtshoorn is very famous for this. And that also led to an economic boom of this town. So yeah, lots of ostrich feathers that was exported from this area. But yeah, Prince Albert, it's got a lot of historical significance. It's got many Victorian, Georgian and also Cape Dutch buildings. It reminds me a little bit of Montague. No matter where you go, you see beautiful buildings. Oh, look at the bougainvillea. Oh. You see the beautiful houses. And yeah, it is of course nestled here at the foothills of the Swartberg Mountains and the entrance to the Swartberg Pass. But that is something for tomorrow. For now I'm just taking a bit of a ride through the town. I will stay here overnight. So I will stay in a place called Karoo Kaya, which simply translates to Karoo house. Look at this. This is a typical Cape Dutch. 1858. Yeah, that one, that's old. Look at that quaint little house there in front with the red door. Let me just take a little bit of a back street back into town. I basically went through the whole town now. Yeah, so this brought us now about 400 kilometers from Cape Town to Prince Albert. So this is just the very first long stretch to start this Riding the Big Three series. So given that I made it now safely to Prince Albert, you can rest assured that from tomorrow things will be completely different. We can prepare so long for some rough dirt roads. But yeah, that is for tomorrow. Now this must be the church hall probably. Yeah, the Kerkzaal, church hall. Beautiful. And this is the backside of the church. Okay, let me make a stop just to find the address of the place where I'm going to stay. Okay, so I checked the address now. It's actually quite close to where I entered the town, so I'm going to go back almost where we entered, and yeah, then hopefully I can just check in easily for the night. I simply booked this place. I love making use of lekkerslaap.co.za, so that's where I booked it. I will certainly give you the link in the video description. But let's find it. Seems like one just opens the gate, so let me go and have a look. Yeah, so I just met up with friendly Megan. Looks like a lovely place to stay. So let me just get the bike down. She showed me where I can park it. Yeah, just look at this place. It seems like there's quite a number of rooms. Yeah, what a friendly reception here from Megan, and she showed me to my room. So let me just show you. This is Karoo Kaya, and they've got a number of rooms here. So it's got a little courtyard here. Then my unit is number 2. So you enter it here. So with a little kitchen, even a oven and stove, and a microwave, toaster. Everything is just here. Seating area, fridge. And then there's a bathroom down here, quite a spacious bathroom. And then the bedroom. Perfect for what I need to stay for the night. So I think I'm really going to enjoy my time here at Karoo Kaya. Yeah, just hear the bird sounds. I'm going to end the video here for today. Thank you very much for joining me for the first part of this trip. Yeah, this trip of riding the big 3. So yeah, this was just a stretch to get here. From tomorrow it will be completely different. So if you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and then until tomorrow morning, keep well. Bye bye.